The Chinese Grand Prix this weekend is a Formula One race you do not want to miss. So here's everything that you need to know about this upcoming Grand Prix. Hello friends, welcome back to Track Limits. My name is John, the Motorsports Enthusiast, and today we're going to dive into the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix. After a chaotic curtain raiser in Australia, F1 heads to Shanghai, where these teams and drivers are gearing up for another thrilling weekend. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a curious newcomer, I have all the tidbits of information and stats and everything you need to know. So let's dive in. First things first, let's get sorted with the schedule so you don't miss an ounce of action. Here's how the weekend unfolds, all times in Eastern Time. Starting on Thursday, March 20th, we have practice number 1 starting at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. On Friday, at early time of 3:30 a.m., you have qualifying, followed by the sprint race at 11 p.m. Then on Saturday at 3 a.m. in the morning, you have qualifying for the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix. And then on Sunday, March 23rd, at a lovely 3 a.m. Eastern Time, you have the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix. You better set those alarms or drink a lot of caffeine because this is one of the earliest or latest race starts that we're going to have on the schedule. Now let's move on to the circuit, the Shanghai International Circuit. This track is a true test of the car's aerodynamic capabilities as well as the driver's finesse. The circuit is 3.387 miles or 5.45 kilometers. There are 16 turns, 9 right-handers, and 7 left-handers. The first of 2 notable features in my opinion is turn 1, which basically is like a never-ending right-hander, which gets drivers a big challenge from the get-go. And then the back straight, that is 1.17 kilometers long. Speeds will hit over 200 miles per hour easy, leading into a heavy braking zone, which is primed for overtake. Now let's talk about the DRS zone. For those new to the sport, DRS stands for drag reduction system. And these are zones on particular tracks where you can actually open up a flap on the rear wing that reduces aerodynamic drag, which increase speed for a short period of time. Zone 1 is on the back straight between turns 13 and turn 14, and zone 2 is on the front stretch, right after turn 16, leading all the way up into turn 1. So 2 long straightaways, 2 great overtaking points. And when it comes to the car, this weekend Pirelli will be running the C2, C3, C4s, the same tires that they ran last year. Now let's move on to what's happening in the driver standings as well as the constructor standing. So Lando Norris, with his win in Australia, leads the point standings with Max Verstappen in 2nd, George Russell in 3rd, Kimi Antonelli in 4th, and Alex Albon and Williams in 5th, which means McLaren is now leading the constructor standing with 27 points, actually in a tie with Mercedes for P1, both holding 27 points. Right behind them, you have Red Bull with 18 points, Williams with 10, and Aston Martin with 8. Now, before I continue into the past races here at the Shanghai International Circuit, I want to know, who do you think is going to win this weekend in China? Is it going to be Lando with the repeat? Are we going to see Lewis rekindle some of that Shanghai magic and win in China again? He's won multiple times. Or is it going to be the Max Verstappen show? Let me know in the comments. So let's discuss some of those past performances in China. The Shanghai International Circuit has been a proving ground and an awesome place for a few standout drivers. Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, has won multiple times here in China. Let's see if he can rebound from Australia. Max Verstappen is driver number 2. He won last year in China, and he also is the reigning champion. But there have been some talks about Red Bull may not be as fast as we think they will be this weekend. So can Max overdrive and outdrive the car's performance? Another driver that's performed very well is Fernando Alonso. He has 2 wins here in China. Now, notably, Lando Norris got a 2nd place finish here last year. With momentum from Australia, Lando could be the favorite that you want to pay attention to this weekend. Speaking of what to pay attention to, this is what you need to watch out for in this weekend's race. First off, Norris hat trick. Technically, if Lando Norris wins this weekend in China, he will have won the last 3 Grand Prix, which means he will have a hat trick in Formula 1. Can he actually accomplish this? Can he continue his success? We'll have to see. Second, Max Verstappen's redemption. After a rare 2nd place finish, Verstappen will be eager to reclaim the top step of that podium. I think his past success will make him a formidable contender, but I'm worried about that pace, with reports that speed may not be there this weekend. Third, Mercedes. A strong start, P3 and P4 in Australia. We don't know exactly how fast that Mercedes is going to be, so maybe Kimi Antonelli get a win in his 2nd start. Who knows? And a driver who has had massive success here, Lewis Hamilton. Can he bounce back? Can he bounce back from Australia? They arguably will have a better car than Australia just because of the straight line speed, as well as it's not going to be a wet weather race. Can he bounce back and possibly get a podium? Either way, the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix aiming up to be an amazing spectacle. With favorable weather, we have some new tire compounds and a repave from last year, and a sprint weekend, you can't forget about that. Teams and drivers face a whirlwind of possible opportunities, but unprecedented challenges. Will Verstappen mount a comeback? Will Norris get a hat trick? Will Kimi Antonelli shock the world? We'll find out soon enough. And remember, this is a very early race. Starts at 3 a.m. Eastern time for all us Americans over here, so make sure to grab your coffee. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Track Limits. I'll be dropping the Chinese Grand Prix recap on Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time or 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to like and subscribe or hit that notification bell if you want to get more Track Limit content, as well as other content here with all the other creators we have at ATYL Media. And my last thought is, as I asked it before, who do you think is going to win this weekend? I'm kind of leaning toward McLaren double podium because I don't think Red Bull's going to be strong enough. This is John, the Motorsport Enthusiast, signing off.